back to the Ellen Show. Next up, we have special guest, Dr. Kayla Tewahade. Let's give her a warm welcome. Hi.
So nice to meet you,
It's
Ellen.
great to finally meet you as well.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, no, of course. We've heard so much about you. You're a famous pediatrician, that's correct?
I am. I have been for 10 years.
All right, and so why don't you let me and the audience know exactly what being a pediatrician entails?
So what a pediatrician is, we work with kids up to the age of 21, so
Okay.
we work with all of them. And what we do with them is we focus on their physical, behavioral, and emotional, just like their wellness of that. So,
Okay, so that's interesting. So what else do you do?
so basically, we give kids their yearly checkup. So as a kid, you probably did your yearly checkup.
Yes.
And so during that checkup, we check like their height, their growth. We also administer immunizations, so that can be there's a bunch of different immunizations.
Okay, so what are the benefits of these vaccinations and immunizations?
So what those vaccinations do, they provide protection against diseases as well as treating diseases. So they just kind of make it better, so that you don't get sick, pretty much.
Okay, and so I know that the pediatricians, are dealing with kids. So what's your interactions like with the parents of the children?
Oh, so that's a really big part. We also kind of give advice to the not to the children, to their parents.
Yes.
We give them a lot of advice, just like the healthy way to go with their kids and like what they should do that would make the environment that they live around just like a healthier place in general.
Awesome. So it sounds like a really great job and something that's really beneficial to everyone. We'll come back after this commercial.
On 9 News, is your pediatrician doing the right thing? In this lawsuit case, a little boy and his family sued their pediatrician for ignoring his signs of headache and all of his other symptoms, which later led to his blindness. Check your pediatrician out.
So it must have taken a lot of schooling to become a pediatrician.
Oh, trust me, it did. It took me about 12 years to finish my doctorate.
Could barely last 4.
Oh, I barely did too. So I did my first 4 years actually at Loyola Marymount University.
Okay.
Yeah, and I studied to earn my bachelor's degree in health and human sciences.
All right, that's awesome. So what were some of the classes that you took, or some of the things that interested you in college?
So I took lots of classes. Some of the main ones that I did take though were nature of science, technology, and mathematics. I took multiple biology and chemistry classes, as well as human anatomy and physics, just like, obviously basics, and I did lots of labs too.
Well, that sounds very fun. Sounds like a lot of work. So you said you went to Loyola Marymount University. What are some other top schools that are good for pre-med, for those maybe looking to go into this field?
Some of the top schools are Harvard University, Stanford University, Johns Hopkins University is also a great one, as well as University of California, San Francisco.
Interesting.
But I actually, after Loyola Marymount University, I went to Creighton University, actually.
Okay, and did you like it there?
Oh, I loved it there. It had guess what? It had an 11-to-1 student-faculty ratio, so I was always close with my teachers, so that I had a lot of help going through, because pre-med can be a very difficult thing. And
Definitely, you need someone to help you along.
Yeah, so it was really nice having that small class size. And then I actually came from a Jesuit high school, so it was also a Jesuit college. So it was like a really well transition, because they were pretty much the same thing, and I love that about it.
Okay.
And it was also located in Los Angeles, California, which is actually my favorite place on the entire world that I've been to. It's just I love the sunny skies and everything about it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and letting everyone know exactly what you do and the hard work you need to become a pediatrician. So if you don't mind me asking, and I'm sure the audience is very curious, how much does a pediatrician typically make?
It really does depend on where you are working.
Okay, so I didn't realize they could really work anywhere besides the pediatric office.
Actually, pediatricians can work in places such as hospitals, academic institutions, pediatric offices, as you stated, and in the military and in Doctors Without Borders, which is what I did.
That's very interesting. So for Doctors Without Borders, how much did you make in those settings?
So that is actually one of the lower payings because it is a volunteer service. You make about $1,731 per month in Doctors Without Borders. But in the other places, like in hospitals, around $190 and $190,030. And then in pediatric offices, about $173,000. In the military, $5,168 per month, which is again one of the lower paying ones because it is in the military. And then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's more than I make. Not really. Anyways, so.
Well, actually, let me tell you this fun statistic.
Okay.
So, in places such as New Mexico, Washington, and Mississippi, you make much more than you would if you were working in places like Missouri, Arizona. But the salaries do range generally around the U.S.
Really? It's very interesting.
Yeah, and let me hit you with another fun one. Men make about 30% more than the women make in this in pediatrics.
Well, that definitely does not seem fair.
It is not.
All right, so is there a certain personality you need?
So I actually took
Weird question.
It's all right. We're all wondering. So I took a personality test, and what I am is ESFJ.
So that's extrovert, right? What else? What does the rest of it mean?
So E stands for extrovert, like you said.
Okay.
S for sensing. F for feeling, and J for judging.
Okay. So how does that help you?
So since I'm an extrovert, I'll kind of just go by and explain each piece. So since I'm an extrovert, I really get energy from being around people. I love talking, which is really good when you're around kids all day. You have to have a lot of energy from them.
Very
else
true.
You get burnt out.
Yes. So how about sensing?
So sensing means that I pay close attention to detail. I'm very detail oriented and organized, and that really helps me with my work.
Okay, and feeling.
So through this aspect, I'm able to create like a close bond with all my patients.
And obviously that's definitely something you
A
need.
huge one, especially with those patients who are sick. It really allows them to have like a strong support system.
Okay.
And then it also allows me to see people from their point of view. So like if they are sick, like I mentioned, just kind of see where they're coming, but still maintaining a loving and caring atmosphere.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So does judging mean you're a judgmental person, or?
No, that is like what the common idea is, but what this actually just means is that I base my decisions based on how I'm like a planner and an organizer, so that's what a lot of my life focuses around.
Basically make good judgment calls.
Yes, exactly.
All
Perfect.
right.
Yeah, so I just like to be in control.
Well, it sounds like you've got to have a pretty perfect personality to be a pediatrician.
I would say so.
Okay, so is it fun being a pediatrician? I mean, I think we all would like to have careers in which we enjoy doing our jobs.
Yeah,
So,
of course. So most of the time it is very fun, but of course there are some definite cons to being a pediatrician.
I'm sure.
Yeah, some of those cons are like you're exposed to diseases a lot, like since you are around sick kids a lot, as well as seeing those injured and sick kids. And for example, if you went on Doctors Without Borders, like I did, malnourished kids, and that can weigh very heavy on the heart because all you want is for them to get better, but they won't always get better, which is just like a heavy thing to
It's definitely
see.
something that's hard to go through, I'm sure.
And it's also a very hectic work environment. There's a lot of fast pace as well as a demanding schedule, which can be exhausting at times, and it can really cause a lot of stress.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure it's a very stressful situation, but there's got to be some good to it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I love it so much. Like I stated, there was a high pay, which is always a plus. It's a bonus on top of all the fun work, working with the kids, and just being around them, especially because I love kids. I'm obsessed with them.
Me too. Love the kids.
You also get to make a difference in a child's life, and it also has a very solid work environment, like being with your coworkers and stuff like that. You have other people who are going through the same thing you are.
Yeah.
And like in Doctors Without Borders, actually, this is just kind of like a personal experience. I got to meet people from all over the world and travel a lot.
That
so
was awesome.
It was amazing. I got to experience many different cultures.
Well, maybe I should be a pediatrician.
Oh, come and learn from me.
Thanks again for having us, and now we're going to finish off the show like we always do.